Were you ever that 1 in 1? Oh oh oh. Oh oh oh. If so, what's your story? I had 8 wisdom teeth. The dentist had never seen anything like it and called the whole office in to marvel at my teeth. Found Sharkboy's cousin. Hey. Thanks for the platinum. My first one. Hugging face. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I had one in my sinus cavity. Ow WTF, did it interfere with anything? I was struck by lightning while talking on a landline. This was in the early 90s. Lightning struck the telephone line and traveled through the handset to my ear. My parents drove me to the ER. I couldn't talk very well. My brain knew what I wanted to say, but my mouth didn't want to say it. I had a terrible stutter. My doctor told me that I had had a dose of good old-fashioned electroshock therapy. My speech was normal the next day. But I get a terrible headache whenever a thunderstorm comes through. That's just your brain shouting, stay away from the fucking phone. You, Orion over 89. Or his superpowers at their maximum with no outlet. He needs to learn to release his newfound lightning powers. Hello fellow phone lightning friend. Came to share I got struck by a feeler of lightning according to the fire department because I was watching a wicked thunderstorm on a cordless home phone. Neighbor's house got struck right by my bedroom window, where I was pressed up against it talking to my friend about the insane frequency of the strikes. I remember dropping the phone, slowly dropping to the floor, and then time feeling really weird. Mom found me laying there when she came to tell me the neighbor's house was on fire. I was conscious but very out of it. She got me up, helped me outside. Fire department basically said the same thing. Zapped. We'll be fine. Don't be on your phone in a thunderstorm. Also, the fire was small and only burned a hole in their roof, damaged their attic some. Everyone walked away okay. I slept wrong one night and pinched a nerve in my neck so severely I lost the right side of my body. It just went silent like it wasn't there for months. I woke up in the worst pain I've ever experienced and couldn't talk, move or do anything. The doctor thought I was having a stroke. My doctor had never seen a case as severe as mine and it was purely a freak accident. Recovery took months but I have use of my leg and hand again. With some numbness. Other than pain and spasms I'm mostly back to normal. I hate reading stuff like this. If you're not safe lying asleep on a mattress. Where are you safe? Holy shiz. Just from sleeping wrong? Did they check for a spinal issue or something? Shiz. My insomnia isn't going away now. Not sure if this is a blessing or a curse. But I'm an extremely tall human. 7'3" yes really. Not sure how rare that is. 1 in 1.6 million of being over 7 feet tall. 1 in 2 of being asked, how's the weather up there? The appropriate response is, it's great. How do my balls smell down there? But 7 in 8 chance of being asked, do you play basketball? 220 centimeters for my non-American friends. I'd say that's pretty rare. I've only ever met one at 7'1" and he's a famous Danish basketball player. But don't you get tired of all the comments and jokes, thinking face? I was eating at a small burger shop in Maitland, Florida when I was about 11. Saw a 7'3" Orlando Magic player. He signed my napkin and hailed a Lynx bus. He was taller than the bus when he put his arm up. Also, met a 7'2" cashier at a smoke shop off Fairbanks around the same time. I'd say I'm pretty lucky. I have completely unexplained hearing loss in my left ear. I had a cyst in it when I was 6. And the surgery to remove it and fix the ear was successful. When I was about 12. I woke up one morning with a killer headache and ear ringing. And after 3 days it went away and so did my hearing. Doctors did multiple examinations and an MRI and they said it should be totally functional. It just isn't. 1 in a million case. Did your aunt ever look at steroids for sudden sensory neural hearing loss? I had almost the exact thing when I was 14. Woke up one day with ringing in my ear and by noon all sound was gone on my left side. I also had an MRI looking for a brain tumor. But they never found a cause. I was able to regain approximately 50% hearing with a heavy regimen of steroids. But I know that treatment is less effective as time goes on. The weird thing is that SSHL occurs mostly in people in their 30s to 60s. And when I had my hearing loss, 2 other teens in my town also got very similar SSHL. My friend woke up last year with no hearing in his ear. 3 different doctors said it was temporary and nothing to worry about. The 4th doctor said it was an emergency and gave him steroids. This was 3 days after it started. My friend recovered his hearing after a week. Apparently, the quicker you get on to the steroids, the greater the chances of recovering. For my 7th birthday we went to Disneyland. They just happened to be having a car a day giveaway when we were there. For my 7th birthday, Mickey Mouse gave me a Pontiac Firebird. Do you still have the car? Nah. Since I was only 7 at the time. The car went to my mom. By the time I was old enough to drive, it was scrap. When I was a kid I went to an air show. I entered a drawing for what I thought was a Ford Mustang. When I won, I discovered on stage that I won a wristwatch with a Mustang on the face. A horse, not the car. It was huge. Kinda ugly and boyish. Bought a new strap and rocked that thing for a year. I have a very rare skin disease that only 1 in a million people get. I've been told that I'll probably never meet another person in my lifetime with it. Hayley disease for those interested. So rare they named it twice. For the interested, the Hayley disease was discovered by the brothers Hugh Edward Hayley and William Howard Hayley. That's why it's named twice. Look out. I think Hayley likes you. I have symmetric bilateral coloboma of the iris and retina. Essentially, my pupils are shaped like keyholes instead of circles. A single coloboma is pretty rare. Double coloboma is even more rare. And double symmetrical. Well, you get it. Any chance we can get a pic? That sounds amazing. Does it affect your vision at all? Light sensitivity? Not op, but I found this picture of a girl with it. I once guessed a 6-digit random combination on the first try. It was the only try I planned to give. As a kind of scratchpad whatever moment. Literally 1 in a million. What was it? 123,456. I was in 2 separate car crashes in 2 separate cars in less than 45 minutes apart. Also, go you, shark boy. I was 2, if you count the ambulance. Someone pulled out in front of me and I hit them because I had no time to brake. Had some bad back pain, so an ambulance took me to the hospital. On the way there, someone pulled out in front of them. What kind of fuckwit pulls out on an ambulance? Diagnosed with an extremely rare liver disease. Primary hyperoxaluria. Some 300 people in the United States currently have it. Basically pass a lot of kidney stones and need a double transplant to fix. I'm on the donor registry. I hope you find your match soon. Less than 3. Very wholesome. I send tit pics. I've got the middle toes on both feet webbed. So did Stalin. Quack. This feels like a fun fact but at the same time a threat. Agree. That's a significantly menacing quack. My ex was struck by lightning several times and lived. Died in a car accident though. So not as lucky as he claimed to be. Being struck by lightning once is unlucky. Being struck by lightning multiple times is lucky. If you get struck once and survive, you know God has a plan for you. But when you get struck a second time, you realize what plan he has. Life's a bitch like that sometimes. Once read about a man that lived early last century who would let himself be locked in a wooden barrel. Floated down the river and plummet off the Niagara Falls. Just for the thrill. He made it out just fine and would repeat the stunt a few more times. That is, until he slipped over an orange peel. Of all things. Broke his neck and died. I was on Tinder and was talking to this guy. He was supposed to meet me for dinner. I texted him and no answer. Then I texted him on Tinder. Said that he couldn't make it. However, I got a text back from the number. It wasn't the guy that I thought I texted. It was the actor Gerard Butler. I thought he was lying until he FaceTimed me. Nice guy. Hold on. What? Yeah. What? Hi. Sorry, you have the wrong number. By the way, I'm Gerard Butler. OMG, my friend's sister used to date him way back in the day before he was famous. We are Scottish. Said he was a lovely guy, face with tears of joy. Also funny story number 2, another friend was over in Edinburgh for drinks one night. And one of the girls she was with went up to a guy alone at a table and invited him over to their table. He said thanks but no, it's okay, he's with a friend. She kept pestering him to come over. Until eventually she said to him, wait, you look familiar. Like the actor from that film. He said no, it's not me, and laughed. She got back to her table and her friend was like, you idiot, that is Gerard Butler, face with tears of joy. Deleted. Maybe he's just a very slow, methodical, fumbling assassin. Had 2 11 cm benign tumors growing in my spine, resulting in gradual paralysis from my chest down. They had no idea how the tumors formed. Surgery took 11 hours when they thought it would take 4 because the tumors were so complexly woven throughout my spine. I now have pretty much half a spine and chronic pain, but I'd take that over losing my life from paralysis and being unable to breathe. Folded hands, medium light skin tone. My dad has this. -1 of the tumors. Experienced not so severe back pain his whole life. One day it just became unbearable, but doctors said you're just getting old. Go home and take some Advil. Lol. My dad said frick that. Went to a private clinic and had an MRI done on his back. Wouldn't you know it? Tumor in his spine. About 3 days later, he was on the operating table with one of the best neurosurgeons in the country. Surgery took about 9 hours. Poor Sob felt so much better after the surgery that the next day, he walked and met my mom and I at the hospital doors when we arrived.